Hello! Welcome back to the Shakey Sonnet Show. I am Tootight Lautrec, the drag laureate of the Sonnetarium, and here we are once again in the Sonnetarium at the bottom of the down staircase in the permanently sequestered rangers section of an unnamed local library which may or may not have... Hang on. What are those? Oh, a pair of lions couchant, all agog and googly-eyed with the fever of love. Just exactly like our narrator in Sonnets 147 and 148. We, however, have no time for foolishness, so let us not dilly nor dally. Let's get right into these sick little sonnets because they call out for immediate attention. We'll begin with Sonnet 147. 147. My love is as a fever, longing still for that which longer nurseth the disease, feeding on that which doth preserve the ill, the uncertain sickly appetite to please. My reason, the physician to my love, angry that his prescriptions are not kept, hath left me, and I, desperate, now approve desire is death, which physic did accept. Past cure I am, now reason is past care, and frantic mad with evermore unrest, my thoughts and my discourse as madman's are, at random from the truth, vainly expressed. For I have sworn thee fair, and thought thee bright, who art as black as hell, as dark as night. Okay. Someone's in a fever, someone's in a pitch of peak, looks like. Let's start right at the beginning in the first quatrain. Clear as day. My love is as a fever, like a fever. Craving the exact same thing that makes me sick. Longing still for that which longer nurseth the disease, feeding on that which doth preserve the ill. The uncertain sickly appetite, which is a wonderful phrase to describe a horrible affliction, which is, in fact, addiction. Anyone who's ever known anyone suffering from an addiction knows that it's a very, very sad sickness, and it defies all reason, even for the person suffering from the addiction. Here, the implication is that the narrator is addicted to love. Hello, Robert Plant. We'll link the video to that Addicted to Love for you to look at, and you can thank me later. So our narrator is either addicted to love or addicted to sex, and some say that this fever that is being expressed in Sonnet 147 may have a little something to do with a little possible venereal disease, but we'll get into that a little bit later. So, second quatrain. My reason, the physician to my love, my own reason, my own sensible mind, I'm trying to let be my doctor, and Dr. Reason tells me that I should just snap out of it. But I ignore Dr. Reason. My doctor is angry that his prescriptions are not kept, and as a result has left me, and I desperate now approve desire is death which physic did accept. Nothing has helped me. I'd really rather die. My Dr. Reason has said, you're beyond hope if you won't take care of yourself. And I don't care what Dr. Reason says. I don't want no damn medicine. I want what I want, whether it kills me or not. And in this case, love or sex with the beloved, who I know I should not love, is what I desire most. And then we get to the third quatrain. Past cure I am, now reason is past care. Dr. Reason sees that I'm not helping myself, I can't be cured, and so off to the next patient he goes. Past cure I am, now reason is past care, and frantic mad with evermore unrest. Another amazing phrase, frantic mad. And it's particularly amazing here because it refers both to the line before it and to the line after it. The line past cure I am, now reason is past care, and frantic mad. So I am frantic mad with ever more unrest, and then also frantic mad with ever more unrest, my thoughts and my discourse as madman's are. So it reflects forward and backward all at the same time. My thoughts are as a madman's are. I'm going crazy over here. I can't even stand it. I'm in a fever. I want my love who I should not love. I'm frantic mad, and my thoughts are at random from the truth. They're skittering and scattering hither and thither and yon, and I can barely say anything intelligible. This vainly expressed. Anything that I do say is ineptly expressed and all for naught, because I'm talking like a crazy person. Then we get to the couplet. Oof. For all of this is because, for I have sworn thee fair, and thought thee bright, who art as black as hell, as dark as night. Okay, I'm frantic mad. Anything I say is nonsense, but I'll say this loud and clear. And I may have said it in the past that you were good, but I lied. You're no good, you're no good, you're no good. Baby, you're no good. You are as black as hell, as dark as night. And I'm not just talking about your hair, and I'm not just talking about your eyes, I'm talking about your very being, the very soul of you, if we go that far. Now, about this venereal disease, G.R. Ledger, the person who compiled the online Shakespeare sonnets, which I link in almost all of my sonnets below, or all of my videos below, G.R. Ledger says, the closing line with its suggestion of hell and darkness is, as always, suggestive of the female hell, the vagina, which burns with the flame of venereal disease. That's according to G.R. Ledger. And he's actually hardly alone in thinking this, but G.R. Ledger adds this rather vivid description of a cure involving suffumigation with cinnabar in a meat pickling vat, which sounds like oh so much fun, doesn't it? Cinnabar is mercury sulfate, which apparently the suffumigation, where the vapors of the cinnabar are wafted into the air, could be quite poisonous and could even kill you. They did find that actually if it was made into a cream, the mercury compounds actually could handle the beginnings of venereal diseases, and it did work as long as it was as a cream and not as a pill or as a something that you're breathing in, just in case you ever wanted to know. So our narrator is frantic mad with an uncertain sickly appetite for a beloved that he knows that he should not love. He's desperately trying to find some kind of relief, and I, just as a cultural touch point, I can't help be reminded when I read this of this fantastic painting I saw one time of by the painter Juan Valdez Leal, I think, of Saint Jerome's Temptation in the Desert, where he's surrounded by all these women in flowing robes, and it's just amazing. Maybe we can put it up on the screen here for you. But for our narrator, the struggle is real, and the struggle continues in Sonnet 148, which we will look at now. Sonnet 148. O me! What eyes hath love put in my head which have no correspondence with true sight? Or, if they have, where is my judgment fled, that censures falsely what they see aright? If that be fair whereon my false eyes dote, what means the world to say it is not so? If it be not, then love doth well denote, love's eye is not so true as all men's know. How can it? Oh, how can love's eye be true, that is so vexed with watching and with tears? No marvel then, though I mistake my view, the sun itself sees not till heaven clears. O cunning love, with tears thou keep'st me blind, lest eyes well seeing thy foul faults should find. Okay, O me, he begins, He's no longer calling out to love or to the beloved to save him. He knows that he's the only one who can save himself or not. What eyes hath love put in my head which have no correspondence with true sight? Love is blind, love has blinded me. I see, but I don't see the truth, or if I do, I judge it falsely. Censures as judges. I'm in kind of a funhouse mirror with googly eyes, where everything has gone rather squanch-wise. In the second quatrain, he continues on with these questions. If that be fair whereon my false eyes dote, what means the world to say it is not so? I think I see what I think I see, but if the world says it's not, then how dare they say that? I mean, what are they talking about? If it be not, then love doth well denote. Love's eye is not as true as all men's know. Why would the world say otherwise? And if I look on something and call it fair and good and pure and possibly blonde, like in the first 126 sonnets, why is everyone saying I'm wrong? And just as a flashback, do you remember all the way back in Sonnet 124 when the young man was concerned? That was that you and me against the world sonnet. Now the narrator seems to be deeply concerned with what the world has to say, which is quite a turn of events. So, if what I see is not fair, then call me blind. Love's eye is not so true as all men's know. And this is line 8, which has created quite a bit of commentary. Love's eye could also be love's eye, like love's assent, like a come hither assent. Or love's eye, some editors hypothesize, could be a vagina. And perhaps love's eye is not so true. So it's not so true. My eye actually doesn't see what it thinks it sees, or love's eye is not faithful. And in the 1609 quarto, there's a colon between men's and no. So love's eye is not so true as all men's colon no. And this has caused all kinds of confusion. So there are a number of possibilities on the surface and below the surface. Perhaps her vagina is available to all men. Perhaps all men are more faithful than love's eye. Love's eye is not so true as all men's. No. Or all men who say no to love, who say that no to love, are blinded. Or all men know, K-N-O-W, that what I say about love's eye is true. Or it's an emphatic no. Love's eye is not so true as all men's. No, emphatically no. So no, it is not. So it's a rather confusing line and has caused quite a bit of commentary. But what I think I see, I don't see, and he's in a bit of confusion, as we know. He's in this he's frantic mad. We know that from the previous sonnet. And in the third quatrain, as if we didn't get enough of love's eye, he repeats it again. Oh, how can it? How can love's eye be true that is so vexed with watching and with tears? So love's eye is again preceded by another O, the O that begins the first line of the first sonnet. But oh, how can love's eye be true? Perhaps, some editors think, is a visual signal equating love's eye with a vagina. How can my eyes, so in love, see clearly with all these tears? It's only natural that I'm blind. It's no marvel. And he follows this up with the striking image of the sun. The sun itself sees not till heaven clears. Of the day, if it comes a cloudy day, no one sees the sun until everything clears. So of course my tears blind me from what's going on because I'm suffering so much from this love that I'm in, I can't see clearly. And then we get the couplet. O cunning love, with tears thou keep'st me blind, lest eyes well seeing thy foul faults should find. So we switch from the inward turning O me in line 1 to something separate from the narrator, O cunning love. And love could be love, the emotion. It could be love, Cupid. And possibly, for all you cunning linguists out there who see the round O that may perhaps look like a certain part of a female anatomy, and hear in cunning an echo of a crude name for a certain part of a female anatomy, well, that's on you. I, of course, would never stoop so low as to suggest such a thing, although many editors have. But while we're down there, let's consider with tears that keep me blind. These could be tears, of course, crying tears, blind me because my eyes are full of tears and everything is blurry. Possibly they could be other kinds of lubricating secretions. Possibly some editors propose it could be the weeping and the oozing of venereal disease. So the upshot is I'm blind with love until someone in the world that, the world that I used to spurn, until someone in the world tells me how foul you actually are and convinces me of the fact that you're no good for me. So, do we have a gender expressed? No, we don't. Although, despite the orthographic and linguistic clues on the surface, there is no apparent general specified, so no honk today. Dramatically, where may this fit into Shakespeare's other work? Perhaps Titania, on realizing that she's been in love with Bottom in Midsummer Night's Dream. And, of course, it's again this sort of an extended version of Sonnet 145, that waking dream of a sonnet that we had earlier. Narratively, now, I admit that after so many sonnets where we're hearing about the beloved's lack of beauty, even though there's no gender specified, I will say that he never spoke of the young man in such a way that besmirches his beauty. So I'm going to suppose that he is still talking about his mistress, the woman here. And perhaps she was a bit Picasso-faced or Modigliani-necked or some other sort of non-traditional looking way, and yet still quite compelling and irresistible. Maybe she's that sort of a woman who's just, you just look at her and you think, well, she's not pretty, but there you go. So either that or this situation with her is so intolerable that it really is the behavior, her behavior, that is so ugly to the narrator. Despite these besmirchments of her character and possibly her looks, our narrator, he cray-cray for this person. What, I wonder, does the beloved say to all of this? 147 addresses the beloved directly, but only in the couplet. 144, 145, 146, and 148 are all inward contemplations. And I have to wonder, will this moment come to a crisis? Stay tuned. I do hope that in your world, wherever you are able to use whatever senses you have to appreciate the wonders in your world. Don't walk around with googly eyes. Pay attention. Until we meet again, I am Tootight Lautrec.